The engine and most of the chassis are now complete, so of course I needed to move on to the interior, and then after this I will finish off the body and the entire build. Now first of all the parts were just prepped and now they are primed. After priming them, I applied a couple of coats of jet black to some various interior parts like the dashboard and door panels, and then added a couple of coats of matte black to the seats to make them look a bit different, a bit more like a leather or a vinyl instead of the plastic like the dashboard and the door panels. After that, I also added some silver to the main interior tub and also some other components as well, and then I started detailing it out with some brushes and paints. So the parts now have received their main colors, and I can move on to adding a lot of detail all over the place, but just a couple of small colors and touches here and there. So first of all, and mainly, I'm going to do this with some silver and a regular brush, just adding it to a couple of those detailed pieces all over the place. Starting it off with the seats and then moving to the dashboard and the steering wheel. Instead of using a big bulky brush on the dashboard, I just used a toothpick and a small amount of paint, tipping on the parts that needed to be painted silver. On the door panels there is also a big piece of detail, chromy stuff from front to back. Now for this I did use the big brush, just using the very tip of the brush, tilting it almost 90 degrees to the part and touching the very small edge there is, and not going over it, just being careful not to touch anything else with the brush. Now, just like the engine, there is also some red detailing in the interior. In this case, it is the fire extinguisher. Most of the parts and pieces for the interior are now detailed and ready to be assembled, so I took out some super glue and started the assembly. Now, in order to correct the mainly wrong interior on this kit, Revell did supply a big decal to cover all the dials and instruments to make it look like the actual one, but that is pretty much the only thing they took care of. The rest is just a stock interior with a stripped back seat and a roll cage added. Now, as I said in the intro and in the unboxing of this video series, I am not going to go to the full length of correcting this. I'm just going to build an homage and not an exact replica, as there is too much wrong in this kit, and a couple of these pieces I discovered way too late in the game. Now, to fix some more of the details in the interior, I used a Molotow chrome paint pen just to touch a couple of pieces up. And then the final parts and pieces could be glued on with some super glue, and this interior can be buttoned up.